Usually first thing. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you guys came today, and I know a few more will be popping on soon. I have a fun oil story to start with, and would love if you have something you want to share too. I am so not knowledgeable about anatomy and our bodies and what things are. And I had some MCL pain in my knees about a year and a half ago. And I've been keeping it at bay, doing just great. And night before last, for some reason, I couldn't sleep. I had emotional things going on and couldn't sleep and was frustrated in the night. And my knees started hurting. Maybe it was emotional. I don't know. But I woke up thinking, okay, what do I put on an MCL to help it? I wonder if an MCL is a ligament. It's so embarrassed. You look it up and you go, oh yeah, the L stands for ligament. There you go. And so I knew that lemongrass was good for ligaments. So I made myself yesterday a roller bottle of lemongrass with fractionated coconut oil. And as I was doing my sewing project last night, I put it on my knees, and then I put it on my knees again right before I went to bed. My room smelled like a lemon drop. I love the smell of lemongrass. And I had zero pain through the night. Knees are feeling awesome. I'm going to keep doing it because I know my cholesterol was slightly high at my last appointment. And I thought I need to be putting lemongrass on my body for the purpose of cholesterol anyway. And it doesn't really matter where you put the oils. So I thought if I just keep putting this lemongrass on my knees, where my ligaments need some support, I'll be getting the benefit of the lemongrass for my cholesterol and the lemongrass for my ligaments. And I'm just super excited to tell you if that just makes it completely go away, because it's always just there, like 0.01%. It's just kind of just there in my knees hurting my MCLs. So super, super tickled that I slept so well and had zero pain there. So lemongrass for the win this week for me. Any oils or supplements or things that anybody else wants to share this week that's going well for them? Okay. Maybe I should stop asking. I've decided when I teach, I love interaction. And I spoke in church a couple of weeks ago in you're all elder. I spoke in church, and usually when you're at the pulpit, it's a presentation of your message to the congregation. And I am such an interactive person. I found myself interacting with a couple people down. Even I was trying to get the children's attention. So I was like, and how old are you? And she was like, this down there in the front row. I'm 7. And it's just the way I teach. I love to interact with people. And a lady told me later, I just love the way you were interacting with everybody. Were we up there? I thought, well, it probably wasn't very appropriate, but here it's appropriate. So feel free to share. Oh, Melody, you have something to share. I would love to hear it.
So I got my first case of shingles, and I called you after somebody's like, oh yeah, Shaleen experienced that. And so you told me about the spray with frankincense and lavender in it, and it took the zing pain that would keep me from resting at night away.
Yay.
Like, so it soothed the actual the eruptions, right, that were on my skin. So thank you.
I'm curious if your eruptions opened up into sores and drained, or if they stayed closed.
So they had like little tiny blisters, like a collection of so there was like 3 or 4. I don't know, I didn't even know what it was. I just thought I scraped myself, because I don't pay attention when I'm out doing the yard or whatever. And so it was on my waistband, so the waistband like against it, so I didn't really see the blisters. I thought that what I was seeing was something else. So anyway, yeah, I got these
because I know when I used frankincense and lavender on mine, the blisters didn't pop open and drain. They stayed closed. And I thought that was really cool, that because if you don't treat the shingles at all, they quite often blister and pop open and drain. And that's where it's very contagious for the drainage to get somewhere else.
Yeah, I had a doctor tell me they're not contagious, and the CDC disagrees.
Yeah, there's different opinions. When I had mine, I was just going to help with the grandbaby, and I talked to a doctor, and they said, as long as the blisters aren't popped open, you should be fine. Anyway, I helped another friend with the same question a year ago, but the man's wife was here in my home last week, and she told that same story with frankincense and lavender helping, but his had already blistered and popped open when he was in the hospital, and they realized it was shingles. She put that spray on him, and she said within 2 days everything healed up, and he was out of pain, and it was better. So yeah, it's a great answer for shingles. No fun to get it though, no fun at all. And it can be anywhere from your head. I've heard of people getting it in their eye. Mine started on my neck and went all the way down my left shoulder, and then around the body is very common too.
So mine's the lower right side of my back, and they said that's actually very common.
Mm-hmm.
So to get it on the back. My grandma had it up mid back, but it was also on the right side. So I don't know what's magical about the right side.
And it's funny how worried I was for the next few months, because I got a little something on the right side of my neck. I was like, no, I'm getting it again. And I research, and they say, oh, it can hit the body on the opposite side later and all this stuff. It never developed into anything, but I sure didn't want to go through that again. It was rough.
Anyway,
thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going to get started with the class because I have a lot of great information, and I'm going to be shooting some information at you. So I would love if you take notes on anything that hits you. And I always feel that way. Hopefully when you hear a class, you hear a gem. I call them golden nuggets. You'll hear something that you'll go, that's why I got on the class today. That's why I needed to hear this. So I hope that you hear some of those things. If you do, if you would share that in the chat, because I just love it when I know what helps somebody. And so if you're saying, oh my goodness, I need to try that, or oh, I tried that and I had success too, or something, share those in the chat so everybody can, enjoy the success that you've had with the oils, or what you enjoy with them. Okay, so my intention with this class today, as I talk about my experience of the last 8 years of doTerra, is that I want to educate you, but I also want to empower you, because I named my team Nature Empowers because I feel empowered with the use of the oils. And my experience started, my little sister Janalee just got on. Our mother gave us oils, probably 20 years ago. And she gave us all some Young Living oils. At least she gave me some. I don't know if she gave you some, Janalee.
Yeah.
She gave it to all of us.
Yes, she did.
So I had a few Young Living oils early on, before, nobody knew what oils were at that point. And she gave me a funky looking diffuser. It was really weird. Never did use it. Didn't know how to use it. And I had lavender on hand, and that's the only thing I knew what to do. I think she gave me 4 or 5 bottles of something, but lavender I knew helped with burns. So really that's all I ever used, because I'm a klutz. And so when I'd burn myself, I'd quickly pull out that lavender and I'd get relief, and I'd be so thankful. And I think she gave me peppermint. I think I would use peppermint when I had allergies. Sometimes it didn't take it all away, but it would just help me a little bit. But that's about all I really used, because I didn't know what to do with them, didn't have the education. And fast forward almost 20 years, my mom came to visit, and so did my mother-in-law, and we went to a chiropractor for some help. And he kept saying, your mom needs this oil, your mother-in-law needs this oil. They were both here for 6 weeks' time. That was not a good mix. For them to both be here and go see Dr. D every week. And I think he even did it twice a week for the few weeks that they were here. So I was the note taker in their appointments. They didn't want each other in their appointments. So I would be in with one, and then I'd be in with the other, taking notes for them. And Dr. D would say, they need this oil, they need that oil. After a couple of weeks, I says, what can I do to get these oils cheaper? Because I was paying retail for them over the counter. And he of course told me to talk to Sherry and buy a kit, and that was the beginning of my experience with doTerra. I can remember them sitting there on the counter and not knowing what to do, but I just had a DPT shot and my arm was just aching. So I picked up the lavender and I put a few drops of lavender on my shoulder, and immediately it felt better. I mean, it wasn't 100% better, but it was like 80% better. I was like, whoa, that's scary. I don't even know what I'm doing. And so the journey began, and we don't know what we're doing at the beginning. These are strange. They're not a pill that we take that we're used to a doctor saying, take this pill, use this cream or whatever. and it's different to us. But as time went on, I had help with my daughter's cramps and my other daughter's motion sickness with Digesten and Clari-Calm. And I just started to have story after story after story that worked for my children and for me. And I couldn't stop talking about it. In the last 8 years, I have helped people with asthma, allergies, high blood pressure, cholesterol, sleep, digestive issues, pain, focus, anxiety. And I could probably just keep listing things. If I pulled up the book and flipped through it, I just stopped the list because I thought I could just keep going. When I first started, I had to get my husband on board, and he and I went to visit an elderly friend that he was in charge of checking in on periodically. And I was just going to fix all her problems. I had my bag of oils, I had my book, and I went with Joe to visit her, and we sat down and I asked Kay, what are your problems? What have you got physically going on? She didn't stop talking for about a half hour. And she just had so many ailments and so many things. And I just kept shrinking in the chair, just going, oh my word, I'm in over my head. I don't know. I don't even know how to help her. She was elderly, but the last thing she said, she put out her hands and her fingertips were all blue. And she said, I have Raynaud's disease and I have had misery and pain for 20 years. And I'd never heard of Raynaud's disease, didn't even know how to spell it, anything. And Joe reaches over and picks up my book and looks it up because he knew how to spell it, R-A-Y, who'd have thought, Raynaud's disease. And he got to Raynaud's disease and it said cypress. And I pulled out my cypress and I gave it to her. And she called me the next morning and she said, I am getting the first relief I have felt in 20 years. And that got my husband on board. Wow, if you can help Kay, then there's definitely something to this. And I really appreciate Joe being on board and learning and using and finding his own stories too. So modern medicine, I'm going to teach a whole nother class about toxicity in modern medicine later. I started researching for preparing for this class and found so much great information. But between a nurse being in my home last week for one of my spa nights and the doctors on the stage at doTerra Leadership recently and saying we are literally throwing medicines at symptoms, and doctors and nurses saying how tired they are of throwing medicines at symptoms and how we need to get to the root cause and help our bodies heal and support. And so that's the journey I've been on for 8 years, is saying I didn't used to be this natural person, but then I found doTerra and these things work. And then they're teaching me how I need to detoxify my life and do better and better. I just got more and more excited about making changes in my life. So you're going to see the difference of Shaleen from 8 years ago to now. Glade plugins were in the walls. Febreze was being sprayed everywhere. I now know that those have chemicals in them that I don't want in my home, and they're not in my home now. In that amount of time, my medicine cabinet has literally been emptied. I still keep ibuprofen on hand and children's Tylenol on hand because I have a lot of grandchildren around. Some of the parents will let me use peppermint on their spine for a fever, and some of them won't. And I keep vitamin D on hand in addition to doTerra supplements. My whole container up there in the cupboard now is all doTerra supplements, digestive, DDR prime, deep blue polyphenol, turmeric, soft gels, PB Assist, Terrazyme. Literally everything in my medicine cabinet is doTerra's natural answer to help and support our body. That's a huge difference. It used to be that when we had not a thing that was natural in my cupboard, because that's all I knew, prescription this, over-the-counter medicine here, and then you've moved it to everything's natural. That's just in the medicine cabinet. So big difference there. Then it comes to cleaning. And I can remember having a cleaning experience. Trisha, welcome. Glad you're here. And I can remember having a cleaning experience where I had mopped the floor and I had used Pine Sol, and it was my favorite smelling cleaner. And so that's what I would use to mop the floor. And I really had a terrible reaction to the pine sol. And so much so that I called the company. I was like, have you ever had people have this kind of problem? Blah, blah, blah. I never got that resolved. But I remember back to that time before the oils. And now that I used everything natural in my home and I don't have the chemicals and the problems of toxicity in my home because I use everything natural, I feel blessed that I can do that. Okay, the more I learned about the oils in my 8-year journey was that it's nature's medicine and it addresses the root causes. It is natural compounds found in plants. And that is not a sentence I have said very often, because when it comes to the sciencey end of the oils, I'm not very good. So even saying it, natural compounds found in plants, just doesn't speak to me, because I don't understand what that is. And I don't understand what that means. But some of you who are sciencey are like, whoa, that's so cool. Yeah, that's the medicinal benefit from the oils and the plants. And I'm like, I don't really care. They work. Uh-oh, you can't hear me? Okay, some people are saying.
I can hear you.
Okay, Mara, can you hear me? Or did you lose me? I think everybody else can hear me. I can't hear you. So Mara, you might try going out and back in, because everyone else can hear me. So I think go out and I'll bring you back in. So I'm just someone that says the oils work. I know it works. I know what works. I don't really understand why they work. And I'm not really I'm not the person to talk to if you want to know all the science, but there is so much science. If you want to learn more, please do let me know. I can direct you in some places. So the thing I love about the oils, they're not oily. So we call them essential oils, but they're not oily. We can put them on our skin and we can enjoy them, but there's not any oiliness to them. And they cost pennies per dose. When I think, some of you know me and some of you don't know me that well, but I have 8 children. They're all grown. The last one just got married, but they weren't all under my roof when I started 8 years ago. I only had my last couple girls under the roof. So I'm trying to think all the thousands of dollars I've spent on doctor's bills, prescriptions, ear aches. My kids were prone to molluscum warts up and down their legs. I spent thousands of dollars going to the dermatologist, paying for medicine, and they would burn them off. And the kids would have sores on their legs for months. And now I find out I could have used tea tree oil. And I know people that have used tea tree oil and that has worked for them. And so what a blessing. It's good to dilute it and put it on. So pennies per dose compared to the thousands and thousands of dollars. And I keep hearing that story again and again, having done this for 8 years. That's the title of the class today, Shaleen's Difference in 8 years. That's why I keep mentioning 8 years. But oh my goodness, the number of people I've talked to who have said, I'm not spending this $100 here. I'm not spending this $100 here, because a few drops have helped with oils. So what a blessing. All right. Then doTerra has changed and grown in 8 years. When I joined, was number 1.5 million. So my ID number is 155, blah, 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 blah. My number is 1.5 million when I joined 8 years ago. The last person that I enrolled last week had the number 14 million, blah, 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 blah. That's 8 years' time. It's gone from 1.5 million to 14 million people. And they have a goal to triple by the year 2030. And they are wanting to heal every home and get these oils in every home. And I suppose you might hear that and you might say, yeah, well, of course they do. They want to make more money. I do not feel that from this company. I do not feel that they are doing it because they want to make more money. I feel they are doing it because they want to help every home. And I truly feel that way too. I get touched because I really do want to heal everybody. I was just talking with Cleveland this morning, and Cleveland was talking about having some issues herself, and she's always taking care of her girls and she'll take care of everybody about her, but she doesn't take care of herself. And that was me too. And I'm guessing it's most of us, because we as moms, we take care of everybody else. We make sure everybody's taken care of, but we rarely take time for ourselves. So I just want to tell you and remind you to take care of yourself emotionally and physically with the oils. You are going to get the benefit of being a better you, so you can then better care for them. And that's something I did not do well 8 years ago, and I do much better now. So when I use doTERRA supplements and products every day, the list gets really long. So I want to start telling you some of the things that I use the oils for, and it's going to be kind of a long list, but I want you to think before I share this list. This is just my morning routine. Do you use shampoo and conditioner? Do you use facial products, soaps, cleaners, lotions, moisturizers, vitamins, collagen, toothpaste, mouthwash? Do you use all those things already? doTERRA has them in a natural form so that you don't have added chemicals or anything your body has to detoxify. I wake up in the morning, I shampoo and condition with doTERRA. I put on their facial cleanser. I use their bar soap to soften my elbows. I have a shower spray made with cedarwood, peppermint, and wild orange that I spray into my hands and breathe in to help me respiratory wise in the shower. I use the On Guard cleaner to spray down my shower so it doesn't create mold as much after I'm done. I use the balanced deodorant. I also like the beautiful deodorant that doTERRA makes, not putting any chemicals in those tender places under my arms. I use Yarrow Palm on the backs of my hands to help my, I don't know what they're called. Are they called liver spots? I promise they are much lighter than they used to be. Put my Yarrow Palm.
Service spots, and the more you have them, the more service you've given.
Well, I've given a lot of service, but I want them to go away. So thank you. So I put Yarrow Palm on the backs of my hands. I put them in my palms. I put it on my hands. I put it on my face, and I put it on some scars that I have. And then I pull out my grapefruit spray, and I, having lost 100 pounds, have really flappy arms. And I'm flappy in other places too, but I'm not going to show you that part. But I put the grapefruit here. I'm amazed at how well it has helped my arms. It has been really nice to have the skin be healthier because of the grapefruit I put on every day. Then I put a tiny bit of deep blue in my hands, and I put it on my knees, and I rub it on my back. And I'm going to tell you one more thing I do sometimes with it that's very personal. So sometimes I get hemorrhoids, not always, just once in a while. And I have a hemorrhoid roll-on that I just never remember to make or have up in the bathroom. So one time I just took the deep blue that I'd already rubbed around my hands, and I gently put it on my backside. Now I just showered, super clean, wiped it there. It was like, whoo, you know, deep blue, tender spots, really something else because it's minty and wintergreen and everything else. It hurt for about 5 seconds, but the swelling went down like that. Never had a problem for weeks after that. So the few times I do have problems, that's my own personal. I love to do it because it's quick fix and it's done. Okay, deep blue. Then I move on to my gua sha stones. Now, gua sha is those, I didn't bring them downstairs, but they're those stones that you use to kind of push up on your face. And doTERRA sold them, I think, at Mother's Day last year. But I use my gua sha stones. I do under my eyes. I do here. I do up. I do my neck. And then I use doTERRA's anti-aging eye cream. Big difference on how my eyes feel. If I could just say one product for your skin, that's one you don't want to miss. I use their moisturizer. And then I come downstairs and I take my LLV, which is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitamins, their #1 selling product, Terrazyme PB Assist, and my MetaPower soft gel with my MetaPower Advantage. I could go into a whole class about that, which we do periodically. That is changing my life. I put lemon in my water. I put MetaPower in my water. I have learned to love the Super Mint in my water. So I keep my water filled so that I have plenty of water to do. I brush with doTERRA toothpaste, use doTERRA's mouthwash. And that is just my morning routine. Now that was probably a bit ridiculous. And it seemed a bit ridiculous as I was writing it down because I thought, Shaleen, you're obsessed. But I realized we all use those things anyway. We use these things in our life, our shampoo, our conditioner, our facial products. And then my sweet older daughter, Sandy, she was looking into, Mom, I really want to start with good skincare right now while I'm young. Well, she's 30 something, but she's young compared to me. And she said, I really want to research. And then she came back to me and she said, okay, I've researched everything out there, and doTERRA is right there. Price-wise, it's right there, really good. It doesn't put, the things in the skincare products that shouldn't be there. The only difference I can really see is that your doTERRA stuff has the oils in it. I said, exactly. You get the benefit of the oils on top of everything else. It's brilliant. No, it's not more expensive because it has the oils in it. It's the tippy top best there is. And you get the benefit of getting the oils in every product they make. So I feel that way about their mouthwash. I feel that way about their shampoo. I feel that way about everything they have. They make it the best. They don't put in ingredients we have to worry about. And then they give us the oils that benefit our body. So that was just a huge, huge blessing there too. I had so much more to share with you, but the time is almost gone. So I just wanted to close with everybody's looking for a way to heal their body. And if I've learned anything in 8 years, that's what I've learned. Everybody has something. They're having a hard time sleeping. They're having an upset tummy. Their child has allergies. I mean, the allergy blend that Dr. D created for us has changed my life. I'm not taking medicine every day. I can go outside and enjoy the outdoors. It's a blessing. And every person I give it to puts it on is like, I'm getting immediate relief. I said, yes, I know. It's just such a blessing. All of these things have changed my life, and they're going to change other people's lives. And the one thing I really want to encourage you to realize, most of you are customers. A few of you are people that want to share the oils. But even if you are a customer who just wants to share what is going on in your life with these oils, doTerra is making it super easy. Starting next week, it's called Refer a Friend. You literally on your doTerra account are going to be able to click and have a personalized link that is your link. And you'll be able to share it with people, and they can. doTerra has taken away the enrollment fees. They say, I want a deep blue stick with copaiba. That's all I want. They will be able to take your link, put this in the cart, buy it, have it sent to them, and they will be able to have their own account and get everything. They don't have to buy a kit. They don't have to have an enrollment fee. They don't have to do anything. So just realize new changes coming. It's going to make it easier for you to share and change lives. And I hope that you'll all take advantage of that. For those of you who are in Texas, please put April 20th on your calendar. We have Dr. Brannick Riggs from doTerra Corporate coming to Austin, Texas. I still can't believe it. We're going to be trying to get a lot of people there. So please, 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 please come. Please invite people to come. doTerra is going to generously give an adaptive roll-on to everybody that comes in. It only costs $10. I think they do that just so people will come. You know, if you have skin in the game, you come. And please, please, please consider coming and inviting people. And next week, Leanne's going to be teaching us a great class about resources and all of the resources that we have in our life, like books and apps and some of our team resources and web pages, things, places you can find information to help you on your natural journey. So I didn't see anybody put anything in the chat. Does that mean nobody learned anything at all? I would love to know if you learned something. I see some hearts. That makes me feel good.
What's grapefruit do for your skin?
Say it again, Diane.
What's grapefruit do for your skin?
Grapefruit is just very healing for your skin. It's also emotionally healing for you and loving your body, which that's part I really need to. But for some reason, grapefruit helps to with the, you know how the skin gets pockety when it's wrinkled? It's helped it get, I don't know what the right word is. Crepey. Crepey is the word they use for skin. It takes away the crepiness. Yeah. Yeah. I really, now it's not going to shrink what's there. I don't know if I'll ever have normal arms after being so overweight, but
do you use that neat? Do you use the grapefruit?
I put a half a bottle of grapefruit in a spray bottle, and I fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil.
Okay.
So I'm very frugal with my oils, but grapefruit's one of the cheaper ones, so I don't feel bad using a whole half a bottle in a thing because it lasts me for months to do that. Yeah.
What size bottle?
Probably a 4 ounce is what I do. I just like a little quick fix up there. Any other questions? I love questions.
I was just going to say that to try different shampoos and conditioners that doTerra has, because they'll affect everyone a little bit differently.
Yep. And I should
my favorite's the bars. The bars is what works
I like
for me.
the bars too, and I do like their new shampoo and conditioner, but I trade off and on. Like I do one on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do the bars on the other days, just because I think hair does better when it switches things out. So that's what I do. I'm just thankful we have an option. So.
I sent the baby collection to my daughter-in-law. We have a new grandbaby.
Yay,
A
congratulations.
little girl after 3 boys.
Yay. Oh, little baby girl.
Yeah. You get to see her at the end of the month.
That's
And then next month.
fantastic. Oh my goodness. I want more granddaughters. That is so awesome. There are so many natural things that babies can use too. My son texted last night and said, you probably don't want to come over because we all got the stomach bug over here. And you're right. I'm not coming over, but I said, do you have Digestin? And he said, oh, Mom, I just found a roll-on of Digestin. And I said, perfect. Go put it on everybody's tummies. Because we can use them on babies. People just have to be of a mind that they're ready to dilute them, in a roll-on and use them that way. So, yeah. And I love the baby line too. Lotion. So many good things. You guys are so fun. Thank you for getting on. Trisha, I don't know you, but you got an adorable family. Thanks for getting on. Somebody must have invited you to come. We're so glad they did. Please feel free to join us next time. And I love your comments. You guys are awesome. And stay on if you want to learn a little businessy something. I got a fun little thing to share for business, and have a great week.
All right. Oops.
All right. I am going to remember to stop the recording. Okay. Sherry is starting a new gold program. And when you approach this gold program, the only thing you have to have on hand is the book, The Slight Edge. And The Slight Edge is the book that I started reading when I was brand new with doTerra. It's by Jeff Olson. And it talks about how if you're trying to get from here to here, and you want to get there, if you just slightly make a different choice every day, you are not going to get there. Maybe I should be doing it this way. Slightly make a choice every day. You're not going to get there. And I love the techniques and the ideas that it put in my head when I was brand new to doTerra. So her gold program is called 35 Easy. It starts in a few weeks, I think April 17th, I think she said. And it's 5 things that you do every day. And one of them is spend some time praying, meditating, connecting with your maker. One is reading 6 pages out of this book so that in 35 days time, you'll get through this book. One of them is talking to one person a day and inviting them with the oils, and following up with one person a day with the oils. And there's one other thing. Oh, I have my list in front of me. Oh, exercise for 30 minutes. Oh, and I love that one because what she did was put things in here that help me connect with my maker, help me with my body and my mindset, help me with self-development, and then 2 things that are going to help me slowly grow my business. So it's a great plan. And I'm going to get my list of people ready to go so that that's ready to go. Connecting with my maker and exercising are going to come pretty without any preparation. Those will come. And then get the book on hand so you're ready to be reading 6 pages a day. And then part of this program is once a week, we're going to be put into groups of accountability groups. And you can do this if you want to. I would love to have all of you in the accountability group where we meet once a week and we just share something positive that's happening in our life. Doesn't have to be doTerra related. And we say what we got out of our reading so that we have a little bit of a discussion. And we just have this little accountability group that's really going to give us some positive direction to go in. So be watching for Sherry's introduction to that program, 35 Easy, starting on April 17th. She gives you 1 day off a week to miss your goal of doing those 5 things. And so it goes from the 17th of April, I think it goes to the 26th of May. Anyway, really good to help your mindset, your body, everything else. keep that in mind. Any questions about that?
You didn't talk about the app, did you?
Oh, I forgot about the app. Thank you. So
Very cool.
she found an app that is, oh, what was it called? It's called Anti Up. And she's going to have us download this app, and you put $35 into the app, and then you keep track on the app of accomplishing these 5 things every day. And then at the end of the 6 weeks or 7 weeks, I think it takes to get 35 days, 6 days a week in. If you've kept up every week, you just get your $35 back. And if you kept up and did all of your checks, you'll probably get more than $35 back, because there'll be some people who don't make it. Not my team. You guys are going to be great. But some people won't make it and won't remember. And so it's a way of just putting your skin in the game too, and saying, okay, I'm going to put $35 down and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do these things that are good for me every day. And check, keep track of it on the app. Thank you for reminding me about that, Leanne. That's a fun step and a fun part of it, but I think it'll be really good. Really good stuff. Thanks for listening today. And I really prefer interactive classes, but I've decided nobody likes to talk on Zoom. It's just so hard to get people to unmute and share. So when you guys do, I really appreciate it. Really makes me feel like what I'm saying makes a difference, and hopefully it's making a difference in your life. So thanks for getting on, Leanne. We look forward to hearing from you next week.
Thanks, Shaleen. Bye, guys.
Hey, I'm curious, Diane, Heather, did either, or Janalee or Leanne, did you guys invite Trisha? I don't know who Trisha was that was on that last call.
I think she's my friend.
Really?
I invite her almost every week, and I think this is the first time she's come.
Oh, Janalee, that's so awesome. I hope she had a good time. Please let me know what she thought.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thanks, you guys. Have a good week.
Thank you, Shaleen.